Okay, today we're going to create a transactional email microservice with Zeebe and with Nest. So we're using the JavaScript client. We're going to do it in Node.js. Okay, top to bottom, let's create a new repo. And we'll call it Zeebe transactional email service. A NestJS based Node microservice to send transactional email. The meeting at Mint that I got at the Asian vegetarian restaurant yesterday. Transactional, send transactional email. I'm out on my balcony here in Brisbane. Next time I'll get the webcam going so you can see it. Sunday morning here. Transactional email with Zeebe. It's a common business task that you want to do. Send a transactional email, password reset, welcome, transactional, public, initialize with a readme? No. Okay, create. Okay, we're going to push an existing repository because what we're going to do is we're going to use Nest to generate the project. So let's create a new terminal window that we'll use. And I guess I'll maximize this window, then add it to my stream so you can see it. Add another window, create a new one, call it the terminal. Okay. And then let's choose the source, so it's going to be, I think this one. Yeah, that looks good. Ting! There you go. Here's my Twitter and my GitHub. So on Twitter I'm at Cedar Putty, on GitHub I'm at JWolf. Okay, now we're using Nest to do this. Nest is a really cool framework for building Node applications, and it's kind of based on Angular, so this is what it looks like. If I go to keep that on, turn that off, NestJS. So you go to nestjs.com or docs.nestjs.com to find out how to use it. Now if I go into first steps here, setting up a new project is quite simple. You install the NestJS CLI globally. I've done that, and then you create Nest new project name. Nest new project name. So we're going to use this project name here. So copy that from there. And I'm going to put it in. So CD workspace commanda. And then I'm going to go Nest, create, Zeebe transactional email service. Did I use the right command? What did it say to do? Nest new. Okay. Nest new, Zeebe transactional email service. We'll use npm. Installation in progress. I'll make this a bit bigger so you can see it. Dun dun dun, listening to my streaming music from Monstercat, monstercat.com. It's like $6 a month for a creator license, so you get unlimited streaming for your videos on Twitch and YouTube, which is pretty cool because I like to listen to the Monstercat music and then they allow me to put it into my streams as well, which is just great. Okay, installing. Okay, we're done. So if I now cd into that Zeebe transactional email service. Let's take a bit of a poke around. Okay, it's got a bunch of stuff, and then we're just going to go get remote, get status. I think it initializes it as a Git repository. Yeah, it does. But it has no remote set. None. Okay, so if I now go back to Chrome, transition, so go back to Chrome and take a look here. It says push an existing repository, so just copy that, paste it into my terminal, copy that, paste that. Yeah, let's git add everything. Git commit -m, initial commit, and then git push. Set upstream origin master. It's pushing. Okay, reckons it's done it. Let's have a look. Boom. Here we go. Let's add some topics. Zeebe, Microservice, email, Node.js. Go, get the hashtags going. Good. We'll link it to the Zeebe website. Okay, looks good. So it's got the standard nest thing in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to allow you to send a transactional email from a business process in Zeebe. So let's start with the model. So go to the Zeebe modeler. Here's the Zeebe modeler. We'll create a new model in here. So we could start it with either a create workflow instance or with a publish message. We'll just leave it like this for now. We're just gonna, it's gonna be real simple. We're just gonna send transactional email. So we'll say this one's a send a welcome email. Send a welcome email. Okay, now the task type, we're gonna use email task, send. Email send. Set it 3 retries. Now, what we're going to do with our transactional emails is we're going to use templates, and we'll allow the business process to specify which template. So it's a kind of a generic transactional email task type, and then you can specialize it by we'll use a custom header, and here we'll say email template. And the template we're going to use is welcome, and we're going to create that. So another thing that we could do here is we could constrain which variables from the job are available to the email template, because you could have sensitive information in the engine in a process, and you don't want those to be accidentally templated into an email that's sent out to a user, like, I don't know, passwords or who knows what. So we could constrain it. The other way that we could do it is we could, that would be the safest way. Another way is we just make sure that when we start this sub-process that we only push in the variables that we want to go into the email. But you could put these email tasks in the middle of a process, like, you might have something that's like do something else, and then in parallel send a welcome email, and also do some other stuff, send it to the logs, and then so this could be log, and this could be email, in which case you've probably got state relating to things other than the email in this process. So in that case, you could put something on here like, we'd say email variables, or you could use the fetch variables. Actually, that's the better way to do it. We use fetch variables on the worker, so that it only pulls down known variables for this task type. We're going to do that. How do I delete all these things at once? Oh, you can't. It's a bit of a bummer. Maybe you can. Let's try that again. Shift, select, backspace. Nope, control backspace. No. Oh, let's give it a name. So we've got to give our process a name. So we'll do email test. Email test. Save. Now the reason why I realized it when I went to save it is because I now save them with the same name as the process ID, which just makes them easier to find. Zeebe Transactional Email Service. Source. No, up here. New folder. BPMN. Email.test. Save. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go back to the terminal. And then here I'm going to open my Visual Code editor by going code dot. That opens it up, and then I'll just add it to my window capture so that you can see it. Let's see, call this VS Code 1. Okay. Ding. This one. Okay. No, hang on. Where is that? VS Code instance. Make it full screen, dude. That's more like it. There you go. That bad boy. But let's keep the tagline on top so that you can see it. There you go. My advertising, Twitter and GitHub. Okay, let's get into this. Right, we're going to open a new terminal here so that we can do some stuff. You can see here we've got our BPMN in. I got like a plugin which shows it proper ease. Okay, so now here what we're going to do is we're going to go nest. We're going to generate a new controller called, oh, hang on, before we do that, let's install some packages. So we're going to use for this the Nest Zeebe transport that was made by Dan Shapir at PayK. And what that looks like is, bring this to the top, transition. This is it here. It's a Nest Zeebe accept, whatever. Zeebe connector, transport and client. So we'll just copy this command here. Get that off the screen. Okay, down here. So we're going to install the PayK NestJS stuff. And then because I'm a first-class cut and paste coder, I'm just going to go back here and cut and paste the code. Love it. App module.ts. Okay, so that's going to go in the app module. Here, ting, there we go. Now, a few things about this. We don't need to put the gateway address anymore because it'll now derive the gateway address either if there's nothing specified, it'll use localhost, or if you put something in the environment like come onto cloud, it'll use that. Fully environmentalized, so we'll run against localhost to begin with. Here's an important step that you don't want to miss out, which is bootstrapping the microservices. So if you have a look here, in this main TS, we're going to bootstrap this. So we're going to copy that and paste it into main.ts. Okay, there we go. Nest factory, app module, PayK. Great. Looks good. It's going to listen to port 3000. Save. Sehr gut. Okay, so we got that in. Now we're going to create a controller. Okay, there's an example of a controller in the README. So what we do here is we go nest Oh, actually, you know what? Let's just use the main controller for it. Yeah, we'll use the app controller. Be fine. Okay, so if we go back to the README then, you can see here is the app controller. So I'm just going to grab all this code. Keep it real simple. Oh, so good. Cutting and pasting code, it's amazing. App controller, Control A, Control V, yay, save. Here we go. Man, I'm not such a big fan of the 2 spaces indent. Let's have a look, that's in prettier.rc. Nope, yep, let's see if I can change it here. Indent, spaces, tabs, tab width, 4. Yay! That looks way better. Okay, now it's complaining about this console log thing here. No console logs are allowed, so there's a real cool PK package as well, which is Winston logger, so we're going to use that. So if we go back to... do I know what I'm doing? No, I don't. Oh yeah, I can do this. So if we go back to Chrome, transition, no, it looks like I don't know what I'm doing. PK Winston? Nest Winston? Ah, let's look for it here. So it's a NestJS Winston package. There it is. This one. This is good. Okay, so cut and paste coding at its finest. Switch you back to the Chrome transition. Okay, so we've got to grab this code here. I wonder if there's a way I could make it so that it automatically switches to what I'm looking at. Anyway, I'm doing like double duty here, DJing as well as coding. Okay, so that goes into the module. So we're going to whack that in there. Yes! Doesn't like it. Okay, so my spidey senses tell me I've got to install that package. And I probably got to install that package too. Wow. Okay, it's a little bit complicated. That's cool. Complicated is nothing. Let's move this up so you can have a look. Transition. So basically I whack this into the module and then I'm just going to copy and paste this code until it works, and it's going to be real fast. Okay, watch this. Here we go, cutting and pasting code. Okay, so yeah, I've done this before and got it to work, so it shouldn't be hard. Module imports Winston for root, so we're going to grab that. This just goes into the app module by the look of it. For an app module. Yeah, okay, we've got Zeebe for root in there, so we'll put Winston for root in there as well. Take you back to VS Code so you can see what I'm doing. Transition. Winston for root, Zeebe for root, yeah. Okay, here's something that I got last time I used it, is I did this. Ta-da! Where do you actually install the PK Winston stuff though? Use the main nest. Oh yeah, okay, this is how you do it. Okay, this goes into main. This I'm getting this from the README. Like that. Oh, this is a great track. Do that. Okay, well that looks pretty cool. There we go. Let's see if this thing runs. So you go npm run dev. Nope. Npm run start dev. Npm run start dev. It's compiling. Zero errors, watching for changes. Can't resolve dependencies of the app controller. The app service. So I can see the Zeebe connection provider, but I can't see this app service. Why not? Let's have a look. Imports. Do I need to import the app service? See if that fixes it. Yes. Cool. Okay, so the Zeebe, you can see the Zeebe client has started. I didn't even write any Zeebe client code there, just injected it with this Nest provider. It's failing, so I'm going to start a Zeebe broker. So let me take you on the journey with me by bringing my terminal to the front and then hitting the transition button. Okay, so if we go up from the Zeebe transactional email service and I cd into the Zeebe docker compose, which you can get from the Zeebe repository, and then we're going to cd into the simple monitor one, and I say docker compose up. That's an alias that I have. Creating the monitor, the broker. Let's watch this happen. Drink some coffee. Looking good. Tasting good. Dun 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 dun. It's coming up. Looking good so far. One thing I notice when I look at my program here is that it's using fast polling. Well, two things. One is the logging looks terrible, and we can fix that by, if I hit Control C on this, we'll stop it, and then you do npm i-g, and you install this thing called Pinot-Pretty. Like that. I've already got it in, so I'm not going to do it again. And then what you do is you just run that start dev and then pipe it through Pinot-Pretty, and it will format the JSON. Boom. Oh, look at that. Looks amazing. Okay, and you see there are no errors anymore because the Zeebe thing is ready, but it's using fastpol, which totally sucks, man. It's very 90s and it uses tons of CPU on the broker. So what we want to do is we want to set it to use long polling, which I think we do in here by going options. Oh, look at this, IntelliSense. Long poll, and then we give it an amount, so every 30 seconds we'll have a poll. So it'll restart. Ta-da! Long poll. There we go. Very good. Now if we go into our app controller, this is where there's a get route on here, but here are our Zeebe worker routes. Okay, so we'll delete this second one because we're just going to have a single one in here, and it's looking for the email send service. Email send. If you remember back to the beginning of our episode, where we created this little puppy. Now if you have a look here on this here, the task type is email send. Can I make this bigger? Doesn't look like I can make this side thing bigger. No, whatever. Anyway, email send is the type. Okay, so yeah, we're going to use fetch variables. This is going to be cool. First time I've done this. The other stuff I've done before, but I haven't used fetch variables. Oh yeah, let's inject a logger. So in here what we can do, we just inject a logger like this. Private read only. Logger of type logger. Winston logger, comma. See if that worked. Nope. Let's have a look at the module. Yeah, okay, so we need to provide something. What do we need to provide? Just checking another project that I did with this that worked. Oh wow, I got tons of VS Code windows open, man. So yeah, you have a transport, and then to inject it, let's have a look. Where am I injecting it and using it? In here. No, try one that's working. This one. Log. Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm not 100% at the source of why this is, but you got to do it like this. Make sure we import this. Yep. I bet that fixes it. Here we go. Yay! Okay. So where we have console.log, we now say this.logger.info. This.logger.info. Okay, looks good. Now, this Zeebe worker here, what we can do is we can set options. Dude, I don't know that anyone has ever tested this. Or maybe these are just options. Type, comma, options. Yeah, okay. So you can do this. Fetch variable. And then what fetch variable is it's a what? It's an array of strings. So we're going to fetch the email, we're going to fetch the first name. This stops our worker from getting access to anything that it shouldn't, like passwords or, I don't know, confidential information. The last thing you want to do is accidentally template those into an email and send it out. That would suck. That's all we need. Now, here's what we can do with the strong typing. Oh, love this. So we can say that this is a job, right? Auto import from Zeebe node, but what we can do is we can set an interface here and call it what? I don't know, iJob. And it's going to have an email, which will be a string. It's going to have a first name. Oh, copy and paste, dude. See? Which will also be a string. And it's going to have a last name, which is also a string. Now, interface. This one here is headers. And this is going to have a email colon template, which is a type string, and I'll show you what these are for in a second. Save. Man, it really really doesn't like this, does it? Statements are not aligned. I broke something here. These statements are not aligned. Okay, well align them then. Like, what is this? Unexpected token. Oh, okay, you can't put the interface in the middle of the class declaration. Haha, lol. Put it here. Yay! Missing semicolon, we'll add them in then. Okay, great. So here I think we should be able to say job. Interface. Yes. Now what we can do here is we can say the variables. So we'll put the iJob there. And then comes custom headers. So we put headers here. And then what's the last part? That's it. Okay, cool. Oh, this is great. So this is the email service. Now, see what happens here is that if I say job dot variables, this is the payload. Oh, look at that. IntelliSense for the job shape. It's great. Those are the only ones it's going to fetch. I mean, ideally, you know, we could make it so that that interface was automatically on the job, you know, by the presence of the fetch variable. But you see I had to wire it up twice, but whatever. And then headers. Okay, this is cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, well, we know those are the only variables that we have. So what we'll do in here is we'll basically say this dot app service. It's only got a get home hello method, so we need to send an email. We're going to create a send an email method, right? And then it's going to go to the email job dot variables dot email, and then we're going to specify the template name. So let's get the template name out of here. Well, let's do it like this. We may not ultimately use it, job.variables, but it gives you a sense also of how this works here. Email, first name, and last name. And then from the job headers, so if I now go job.custom headers, oh, this is because I got rid of the semicolons. I actually reversed my semicolon and colon key because I'm like, look at that. Oh, yes. Save. Good. Good. Oh, look at this. I wouldn't even need to do this. Just take that out like this. Oh, so good. Ta-da! Okay, so now let's write the app service that actually sends email. So we keep the controller pretty thin, right? I just demarshal the data out of the variables and out of the custom headers. So, you know, this means that this payment service, email service, this email service can send any template to any email, but it'll only take an email, first name and last name. If you needed to template more variables in, you just add them, you know, to, first of all, to here, and then to here. And then you need to pass them through, demarshal them and pass them through, which is why what I would do is I would use the interface, I would use fetch variable, and then I would just pass the job variables through, because you know, because of this fetch variable, reliably that this is what's on the variable. And then if you have that interface here and you export it into the service, then the service can also know. Let's write the service. Okay, here we go. So to do the actual emailing stuff, where are we at in time? We're 35 minutes in before we get to the emailing stuff, so I'll make a note of that. Okay, we'll go to Chrome, right? Transition to Chrome. So for the emailing stuff, we're going to use Node.js and Amazon SES, Simple Email Service. So this is a pretty cool, easy to use library. And then we're also going to use Microservice for the templating. Accept that. It's pretty fast. We can template stuff into our email templates. Okay, let's start with this. Dude, where's the npm command to copy? What? It's like they don't have it. What, are you going to make me type it out? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, this is Conroe. Transition. Side channel. npm install. Well, let's get rid of that error anyway, so we'll do that by creating the send email method. Ta-da! Save. I should fix it. Okay, this is the signature. Actually, you know what? Let's do it like this. Template and data, right? So template will be a string, and then data. If we go to the app controller, I'm going to export this interface. I'm going to go here, and then the data is going to be called an iJob, which is a dumb name, but whatever. Return true. Yay! Programming without tests. Let's change this. Rename the symbol to an email job data. Ding. Save that. Save this. App controller expected 2 arguments but got 1. Template and data. So we go down here. So we're going to send the template, and then we're just going to send the job variables. And we're relying on the fetch variables guard to make sure that we only get the data, and we do get the data we want. So get rid of that. Save that. I guess the other thing that we need to do here is acknowledge that, you know, someone might forget to give these things. So they're nullable. They might not be present. Okay, app service. We installed Node.js, right? Yep. Okay, cool. Well, let's use the let's cut and paste from this thing here just to show how it's done by the professionals. Okay, so let's grab this first part here. So you can get the idea that I have no idea what I'm doing either. Okay, now I got to change that to import. And then we want to create this client, so where would we do this? We'll do it in the constructor. So Nest makes a singleton. Ding. And then we can say this.client equals SES create client, key and secret. Where are we going to get them from? Maybe from the environment, like a pro. Get rid of that property. Yeah. Yeah, I'll show you how to do it properly, kinda. mean, we could throw if it doesn't exist, right? Which might be a sensible thing to do. Throw if creds don't exist. Yeah, okay, whatever. So let me just sketch out what we're going to do here. We're going to go validate email. Maybe provide defaults for missing. So you've got to make a decision here about whether we provide defaults for missing data or throw. When I say throw, I don't necessarily mean throw, it's throw or return an error. Okay, then we got to template the variables. Well, okay, hang on. Load template. Now this definitely should throw an error if it doesn't exist, if not found. And then we've got to template the variables into the template. What would you say? Apply variables to template. And then send email. Galactic Trumpet. This is a new track. Yeah, man, there's like got some problems here, man. Definitely. Yep. Boy, so many things where things could go wrong. Gosh. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to throw some errors with this thing, which would cause here. How are we gonna throw? This thing should return a promise. So we'll just do this. I know some people say you shouldn't communicate failure through exception throwing, but fuck. Fire out, whatever. In this case, we're going to do it. Might not be the best thing. Okay, so if we catch an error, then we're going to go this.logger.error. And we'll just print out error.message. And then we're going to fail the job. So complete.failure. Error.message. So this is going to cause the broker to retry it. So yeah, it could be a network thing. So it'll cause the broker to retry a few times and then chuck an incident. Return complete failure so that it doesn't try to succeed it afterwards. There we go. That's a pretty lightweight controller. I like it. It's good. Sehr gut, sehr gut. Okay. Alright, how long have I been programming for now? I've been programming for 45 minutes. I'm kind of ready for a break. But I'm enjoying the soundtrack. But I should take a break. So I'm going to take a break now, and I will be back. I'll take a break for maybe 15 minutes and I'll be back.